saw how much Union Jack stuff had been plastered around, I was concerned.
I've made a lot of decisions and I took on a lot of responsibility and a lot of stuff is coming my way. But then if I'm taking responsibility for a lot of the stuff, what did you take responsibility for?
Oh, OK. Let's get off the Union Jack for a minute. Let's get on to sales here. You see, Gabrielle was the biggest seller. She sold £414 of her stuff, 28 items. Jenna was the next biggest seller, £407 worth of items. Jane, you're the businesswoman here, and you sold 10 quid's worth of stuff.
I did find, Jane, that your sales technique went between a bit desperate and a bit aggressive.
Possibly I was over-enthusiastic. I apologise if I was, but I tried my best to make sure that as many people as possible went into that shop.
Right. I mean, Laura, I'm sitting here listening. I've sat here and I'm getting bored now. I can't get to where the problem lays. We spent too much money on materials. We've gone and bought 200 items, you know, and not been very selective on the right category of products. Yeah. Where do you think the responsibility lays, you two?
I think responsibility lies on the creative team. I think, unfortunately, Gabrielle, you come up with some ideas which weren't selling on the day. That could have sold a lot. You did sell extremely well, but I think you guys... You did sell more than me. I wasn't on the sales team on that day.
OK, listen, Laura. Who is responsible for the ultimate failure of the task?
I do feel a lot of the blame lies on Gabrielle.
And who else?
I think after hearing that Jane only sold £10, I'll have to bring Jane back in with me.
Right. The rest of you go back to the house. Right. I'm going to consult with Karen a little longer, and also Nick, who's been listening on this. So if you three step outside, please, yeah. Laura got a lot to answer to, because everybody I asked don't seem to know, you know, what the steer was from day one.
Jane is clearly a very successful, very able businesswoman. Her CV points to some extraordinary things that she's achieved. But actually, I can't put my hand on my heart and tell you that I've witnessed anything remarkable from her in any of the tasks that I've been following her on.
Gabrielle seems to be the one which everyone's blaming for spending far too much money on the refurbishment materials. But I tell you what, she makes a very good point. That, OK, all right then, let's say I did, but what did you do? And I haven't been able to get out of anybody else what they did. Could you send these three of them in, please?
Yes, Lord Sugar. Lord Sugar will see you now.
So, Gabrielle made a point in the last session. She said she's sitting here taking a load of flack, but yet she asked you, what did you do? I thought it was a good question.
I did do a good job. The sales force was motivated. I mean, they were incredibly motivated, and we did sell. Ultimately, what I did do was I did manage the team well. There was a clear direction, Gabrielle.
They say not. As the project manager, why didn't you say to them, I only want 50 quid spent on materials? But you didn't. You just let them go. What raving lunatic would ever think that it didn't matter how much you spent?
But I was hoping a small amount of common sense would prevail.
As a project manager, some of the common sense should have come from you also.
I feel there was actually no strategy. Yes, there was good morale, but when we asked you about materials or what we should buy and whatever else, there was no budget. You gave us £300. In fact, you didn't even specify that we should buy with that.
It did not make sense what was ordered.
I took responsibility, and I do not shy away from it, and that's fine. But I took on a lot of stuff, and what did you do? You gave a good speech now and again, but if I ask you, what did you do that contributed to this? Go ahead.
Gabrielle, that is a very good speech as well. That's commendable as well. Thank you very much. I'm not denying your work ethic, OK? Yes, I know you put some masking tape on a window. Well done for that. Yes,
and the
I
silence
agree
and the
that...
board?
No, look, listen. The bottom line is, you, as Karen said, were like a kid in a sweetie shop buying the materials. At the end of the day, I was at the centre of everything.
Was she at the centre of everything?
Well, obviously not, because if she was at the centre of everything, then there would have been a budget for the materials.
If she was at the centre of things, would you have not known how much she was going to spend?
The point is, you have to delegate. That's what your position was.
I'm asking, what did you delegate?
I delegated to you...
Up.
Gabrielle, that is so unfair, because I was doing the selling and the purchasing. Yes, we may have had some larger items and we may have bought a lot of stock, but we sold it all. The sales were not a problem for the team, apart from for Jane, obviously.
No, hold on a second. I asked, did you want me out in the street?
I didn't tell you to be outside.
Then you came out to the street and you asked me to do flyering.
Yes,
I did
ask her to do flyering.
Yeah,
yes.
So why are you saying that? Never once did you ask me to go back into the shop. Never once. You know,
Jane,
so why are you trying to...
I didn't ask Nick to come into the shop, and Nick still sold.
I can see that there's a complete conflict here. Jane, I've looked at your application here, and you and your husband have a very substantial business. I mean, it's very, very good, very commendable. So some of your colleagues in the house may be in awe of you, or possibly even concerned that you are a contender. The only thing is, they might feel that about you. I don't, because I ain't seen anything to make me feel that way. So...
OK, Lord Sugar. Just to clarify about the sales, I was out in the street for most of the day, but I can genuinely say that I worked extremely hard. I'm quite a serious person, not a market trader. I haven't done that before. I am more comfortable in the business-to-business environment. You know...
Right. Laura, why do you feel that you deserve the opportunity of getting an investment of £250,000 from me?
I have been successful in everything I have ever done, and I'm ready to... I mean...
You weren't successful this week, was you? Who should be fired in this particular task, then, do you think, this week?
Not unfortunately. I still feel it's Gabrielle.
Laura should be fired.
And Jane?
I believe Laura should be fired.
It's a tough one. It's down to this particular task, and did you get the plot? And Laura, I don't think you did get the plot in this task. Gabrielle, you got blamed for spending too much money, but I admire your enthusiasm. And on this particular occasion, I'm going to let you stay in the process, OK?
Thank you, Lord.
And it leaves me with just having to make a decision about you two ladies here. And...
Lord Sugar.
No, I don't want to hear any more, actually.
OK.
This is one of the most difficult ones I've had to deal with. I have to judge it on the person that's got the most potential in coming into business with me, yeah? Laura, you lost the plot, and you didn't run the team very well. But I have a bigger concern with you, Jane. You've been in the losing team 3 times out of 4 weeks, yeah? And nothing I have seen yet tells me that you are this great business person. So on that basis, Jane, you're fired.
OK, thank you anyway. Thank you.
Now, walking out that door there may be, you know, a great business partner for me. But I have got a gut feeling, and you, Gabrielle, the reason you're staying here today is because I think you've been unfairly picked upon. OK, off you go.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you very much.
Well, I don't think you have to worry about Jane. She's obviously a very clever businesswoman.
The application on paper is unbelievable. All I can say is that I didn't see anything in the past 4 weeks. And that's my gut feeling. This is my boardroom, this is my process, this is my money.
Lord Sugar mightn't have wanted me, but I will be extremely successful in everything that I do. And hopefully, in a few years' time, he'll look back and say, I shouldn't have fired her.
I think everything on paper should be that Laura should go, but I think that Lord Sugar will send Jane home.
I personally think Jane.
Laura was a good motivator, and she was a good PM in that respect. She was. But we did make some strategic mistakes. I think Laura should get fired.
Well done.
We did not know who was going, and he ripped every one of us to shreds.
What happened to Jane? Or
that was
what
it. Basically, what he said was, he did say he had this feeling in his gut. He said, I've got to think about who I want to go into business with.
Because she was also shocked, because she did believe that she did a good job. So, you know, for her, I think it was just a complete, like, where did that come from? And she wasn't prepared.
It wasn't pleasant.
In the fight for Lord Sugar's £250,000 investment, 12 candidates remain. Next time...
Your task this week is to come up with a new fitness programme.
You jab, foot across, elbow.
Yeah. It's survival of the fittest.
So what's this called? Give us a name for it. Hip groove. The swingerling.
And loudest.
It's the same thing happening again. We have an opinion and you just don't like it.
But in the boardroom, one's unfit for business.
I did warn you about doing that, and that's a bad management move, that is. You're fired.